You wake up with a jolt, as though you had hit your bed suddenly after a long, long fall. You grab your glasses and put them on, trying to blink the fog away from your vision. Your thoughts and your move to the light switch are interrupted by a soft knock on your door. Who is it? It's Uncle James, sweetie. Is everything all right? You stumble forward towards the light switch just as the door clicks open. He's standing there. When he speaks, his voice is gentle and full of concern. I heard screaming. Was it a nightmare, Vanessa? James scoops you suddenly into a warm, comforting hug, and for a moment, was it just a nightmare? No, this isn't real. You're not my Uncle James. I ruined everything. Things will never go back to the way they were. The dream begins to fall apart around you as the memory of your uncle begins to distort and reveal itself for what it is. As much as you might want your life to go back to the way it was, all you can do is relive a fantasy that has nearly consumed and destroyed you. This is a dream. If you die in a dream, you wake up. So you jump off the platform you're standing on and fall into the abyss. You and Sister Edith each take a wrist and help haul Vanessa up out of the water. She isn't moving. Oh shit. Okay, Evelyn, you can do this. Just remember how to get started. Chest compressions. Another one bites the dust? Wait, first, check the hairway for obstructions. That's it. You gently pull Vanessa's mouth open and find... Oh yeah, it's obstructed all right. What the fuck is in her mouth? You pull a bird out of her airway, and Vanessa starts to cough and gasp for air, coughing water out of her lungs. There's a long, dizzy moment of coughing and choking and gasping for air. When the dizziness passes, you find Evelyn is holding onto your shoulder as you finally expel the rest of the water from your lungs and blink away the darkness at the edge of your vision. You look around and are surprised to find that Sister Edith is here. You stumble forward and clap the still kneeling Evelyn in a tight bear hug, feeling happy to be alive for the first time in perhaps a long while. It seems that somehow you got your clothes back. You've even got the necklace Boye had given you. What seemed like now years ago. Maybe it's best not to question it. After a long moment, you disentangle yourself from Evelyn, take off your glasses, and reach up to touch the place where your eye once was. It's gone now. That's not something that you're going to be able to get back. But maybe it's a sacrifice that had to be paid for you to understand. With a shudder, you suddenly recall a bright and terrible flash of how you lost it. You remember whose blood is on that tree. Best not to dwell on it. Okay, it's time to get organized. Alright, here's the plan. We're gonna get up to room 208 and see if my uncle's really there, whether he is or not. After that, we're getting the hell out of this town. Is everyone good with that? Also, Sister Edith, what are you doing here? Father sent me to watch over you. He's here now too, looking for the lady. Huh, so Father Carmichael is here for some reason. If that lady means Marissa, you'd like a few words with her too. You all head over towards what seems to be the obvious next step, the big gate and the strange mural beyond it. Evelyn checks the gate over and gives you the bad news. It's locked. Well, it can't be easy, but at least it's not as hard as it could be. You dig the maintenance key out of your coat and hand it to Evelyn, who unlocks the chained-up gate. You take a peek at the area with the mural. You have a red, a blue, and a yellow bird, each of which has a metal prong on the underside. The seated figures in the mural are, from left to right, blonde, red-headed, and black-haired. This appears to be their only distinguishing feature, at least at first glance. Each of the bird cages has a small perch hanging on the inside. When you open the door of one bird cage, the other two close. When you close the open bird cage door, the door to the right opens. First, you open the cage door on the left, putting the yellow bird and closing the door. When the middle door opens, you put the red bird in. You close that door and put the blue bird in the final cage. As you close the door on the blue bird, the yellow bird's cage springs open with a snap. There's a flutter of wings, and you watch in astonishment as the yellow bird flies out of the cage and away from sight. It looks like there's something left inside the cage. It looks like an egg. You cradle the egg in your hands and look it over closely. The shell is smooth and unbroken. It feels strangely light, as if it were empty, but you can feel something shifting around inside as you move it. You have Evelyn hold up the flashlight for you against the egg, and it's an acorn?
Oh, a tree baby.
Sure is, sister. Maybe it's a bit silly, but you feel hesitant to break the egg. Oh well, you can always break it later if it turns out you need to. Now, where do you go? Come on, girl, don't lose momentum now. You're almost out of here.
So, sister, any ideas where we should go next? Father Carmichael's upstairs. Oh, do you still have my rosary?
Rosary? Oh, right, you picked that up in the amusement park, didn't you? It belongs to Sister Edith? You ask how the rosary got there. More information of any kind can be a good thing. Sister Edith answers your question with a smile.
I must have dropped it when I was following you in the amusement park.
Wait, what?
You were wandering around and then one of the angels took you away.
Seriously? Angels? I hadn't seen anything around there that looks like an angel to me.
Just let her talk, Evelyn. We can argue theology later, so, tell me why you were following me. Oh, Father Carmichael asked me to. He wanted to know if you'd meet the lady. He's always wanted to meet her.
You ask her if she knows who the lady the father was referring to. You ask her, and she immediately clasps her hands and begins to pray in Latin. It's the Hail Mary, but it sounds off to you. Is it missing a few words? You're very familiar with the original prayer. The word she omitted was the Lord is with thee and Jesus. But why on earth would a nun leave those out? You thank Edith for her valuable insight, and then ask her to lead the way to where the father is. She leads you past the pool towards the door inside. Edith leads you into the same foyer where you crawled into the door beneath the stairs. As you enter, she takes the lead, humming as she heads upstairs. Besides the staircase Edith is on, there's also a long hallway with a door at the end. And of course a door under stairs, presumably. You follow Sister Edith closely up the stairs and... What? There's another tree in this staircase too? But that was in the other foyer. Or is this the same foyer? Ah, who the fuck knows at this point? But more importantly, Edith is walking ahead without a care in the world, as if the tree wasn't there at all. You grab onto Sister Edith's hand, and Evelyn takes your cue and does the same. As you suspected, you watch Edith pass right through the tree, but unexpectedly your hands thump against the bark and refuse to pass through. You hear her calling for you on the other side.
Huh? Aren't you coming? Sister, there's a tree in the way of the stairs. Oh, maybe try the key from by the swimming pool?
Key? What key?
You mean the egg with the acorn in it? Oh, yes.
As you take the egg out, you realize there's a patch of earth at the bottom of the tree. You plant the egg in the ground, and almost immediately a plant springs forth, growing from it. The little seedling grows larger and larger, becoming a vine as it wraps around the trunk of the tree in your way. Tendrils of the vine sink into the bark. Where they do, the wood seems to disappear, allowing the vine to create a portal through the tree for you. You can see Sister Edith waiting on the other side. You step through the portal and head the few steps up the stairs to the second floor.